So I read Life After Life by Kate Atkinson. And that is, and my title was, If You Did It Again, Would You Do It the Same? And that's a picture of her. She's like an English woman. What is intriguing about this story is that, well, the central character is a girl from an upper middle class British family. Her name's Ursula Todd, and the novel is just structured like it repeatedly loops back in time and every chapter starts from the same point, which is a snowy night on February 11th, 1910. But it loops back in time because it describes alternative possible lives for this girl, Ursula. And so every chapter begins on February 11th, 1910, a cold, snowy night. And in the first version, she's strangled by her umbilical cord and she's a stillborn. And so after her death, the chapter ends and a new chapter begins on February 11th, 1910. And then in a following version, she's 4 years old, and her and her sister are playing at the beach, and her sister, Pamela, who's older than her, wants to go out in the water, and they go out, and Ursula can't stand or swim anymore, so she drowns, and that was, yeah. And then one of the most suspenseful versions of her life was when her younger brother was he took her doll, and he was flying it around like an airplane, just teasing her. And then he threw it out the window, so she went to go look and see where her doll was, and it was on the roof. And so she climbed out on the roof, but she slipped off and she fell to her death. And later accounts of her life go into World War II, where she works in London. She is a warden whose job was to go to bomb buildings and find who was living still and rescue the injured people. And so she eventually comes to realize through deja vu that she lived there before. She's lived before, and so she tries to prevent the war by killing Hitler. And this novel is important because it portrays themes of fate, family life, and renewal. And fate is the biggest one for me that I got out of it, because even when her life took different paths, there were several experiences that she went through again. And one of them was in one story of her life, she was raped, and then another story, she avoided it. And so, and then obviously renewal, because she gets another chance at her life several times. And so, but basically fate. And I do not think this book would be good for the curriculum, because it didn't have enough analytical content, and it was just repetitive, I guess you could say. But it was good for a fun read.